The Flying Stamper, and it is Wednesday, February 22nd. And today I am going over the SALE-a-bration Inspiration virtual edition of my class. So we've got a little bit of business to take care of, and then we will jump right into the project. So welcome, and thank you so much for attending my virtual class this month. I truly appreciate you. So let's start out. First of all, I have a door prize, and it is this gorgeous scenic garden stamp set. This is from the SALE-a-bration's mini catalog. It's a hostess only, and I was able to get a few of these with the supplies. So I'm giving away one at each session. So I've got let's see, there's 7 of you this month attending virtually. Let me just show you the names so you can see that you're in here. I've got Leslie, I've got Vilma, I've got Tammy, I've got Diane S., I've got Kathy J., I've got Marta, and I've got Patricia. All right, so good luck, ladies. And let's shake this up really good. And I promise I am not looking. I'm looking away from the camera. And let's see who our winner is. All right, Kathy J. So that will be with your virtual kit, Kathy. Congratulations. Now, if you didn't win today, I'm going to be giving away a few more of these beautiful stamp sets. One will be given away next month during my paper pumpkin birthday party, and then I'll be giving away one at my upcoming retreat, and then I might have another one for my class next month. I'm not quite sure if I have enough to stretch that far. Before we get into class projects, I do want to go over just a little bit of business and give you guys some reminders. So first reminder, and coming right up here, is that SALE-a-bration does end soon, actually 6 days from now. So February 28th is the last day to submit an order and earn SALE-a-bration's products. And at this time, everything is still available except this Dainty Flowers DSP. These products are while supplies last, so I would encourage you, if you haven't done your SALE-a-bration's order, to do it sooner rather than later. And then if you had a birthday this month and you are one of my customers, you have a birthday coupon to use. So if you haven't redeemed that yet, remember it's good for 20% off any one item from any current catalog. And that expires February 28th too. All right, and then next up is just a reminder that the mini catalog ends May 1st, and there are already a couple products in here that have already sold out. So these are also while supplies last. So again, I would encourage you to place your orders sooner rather than later. And then my last reminder is that the annual catalog actually expires May 1st too. And if you're one of my customers, you will receive your new annual catalog around mid to end of April. So again, these products are while supplies last too. So always order things sooner rather than later. Don't wait, because with supply chain issues and things, it's just a possibility that something might be sold out. Okay, next month's last piece of business is next month, March. That's my birthday month, so we're going to have Birthday Bash will be our class, and you should have an Evite for that. It's being offered in person and virtual, and going to be fun. It's all going to be birthday-themed projects, and we're going to have door prizes and just some treats and just a fun time. All right, so let's talk about what you're going to need today. So I'm going to pull out the basics. You know, you need some paper snips, some scissors. I did use tear tape on one of the projects, and so if you have that, I would grab it. If not, a good strong adhesive. This will work, the liquid glue. You'll need some dimensionals. You'll need some glue dots, and it would also be a helpful to have a bone folder. You don't have to have that, but if you do. And then I like to always have little roll of scotch tape sitting by. So those are the basics. As I go through each project, I'll bring out some more things. You can pause the video and grab them. And if you aren't already a member of my blog and you'd like to get my blog posts sent to your email, you can do that by going to flyingstamper.blogspot.com. There's a form, or just let me know. And if you do need any orders, you can order those at debnaylor.stampinup.net. All online orders on my website always receive a thank you card and a sheet of dimensionals. I can also order for you as well if you need help with that. All right, let's get going on our projects. So this first one looks like this, and this card was inspired by my friend, Cheryl Hamilton, and it uses two of the Stampin' Up! Celebrations items, the dainty flowers and the adorable owls. And what you'll need for that one is a memento black, tuxedo black is what I used, but a black stamp pad. And then I have the Wink of Stella, and obviously the adorable owls stamp set if you have that. If you don't, something else similar, I would do a little bit of some kind of lined, so you can do a little bit of coloring, but that's up to you. You don't have to do that. And then I use two markers. Let's see, what do we got here? Pale Papaya and Fresh Freesia. They go with the card, the DSP. Now these are all pre-cut for you, so you don't need to worry about having any dies or anything like that. And let's see, okay, I think that's it. All right, well, let's get going. So when you open this one up, be a little bit careful. By the way, just so you know, I use the Stylish Shapes dies, the 2 circles. When you open this one up, be just a little bit careful because you do have a couple of pearl embellishments in here. And then you're going to have this circle that came from the middle. Just set to that to the side. It's not for this project, but I left it in there for you. You can do something else with this. It's really cute. So you can put that on a different project. It came when I die cut this right here. So instead of just hanging on to it or throwing it in the trash, I enclosed it for you. All right, so let's talk about what we got to do here. Let's get this lined up. So the way this card works is it opens this way, and then you have a white layer, and then you have the Dainty Flowers DSP. So those all get layered on. Now I'm going to do my stamping first, just so if I make any mistakes, I can turn it over. And it might be a good idea to kind of line up the DSP so you know about where to stamp your image. But I'm not going to glue it down until I've done my image, just in case I have any problems. I can turn my paper over and stamp on the back. All right, a little owl guy's going in there. Okay, yay. It's a good stamping day. I haven't stamped anything yet today. All right, we're going to let that dry for just a second. And while it's drying, we're going to get our words. This one I use the Hoot Hoot, You're So Cute. This one I'm going to use It's Your Day from the same stamp set. And then I can make this into a birthday card. Okay, all right, good stamping day here, Deb. Good job, all right. Always got to pat myself on the back a little bit. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm still going to let that dry for another minute or two so it doesn't smear. So this bow, these are all pre-tied for you. I'm going to use a glue dot to attach it at the top, and I'm going to start up there. If you have a take-a-pick tool, that might be handy too. I don't know where my take-a-pick tool is. It seems to have ran away from home, which my room is actually pretty clean right now, so I'm not sure where it went. But, you know, the snips work pretty good too for moving those little covers off the glue dot. All right, and we'll attach that there, and then you run this up the back, and you can either use a glue dot or use a piece of Scotch tape. I'm going to use a piece of Scotch tape. That's my favorite. Okay, now we've got that on the back. I'm going to go ahead and use my adhesive. I like to use the liquid glue. Ooh, that really glubbed on. This is a brand new thing of glue. I'll just pull that over. So I love the liquid glue because it gives you some time before it dries and you can move it around, but you always want to go about a ½ inch in because it does seep out the sides. So if you go too far to the edge, then you have it seeping out onto your project, and that is not any fun. All right, we'll get that pushed down. Okay. All right, now I'll color. So I didn't do a lot of coloring. I colored his tie, and I colored his beak and his feet. And I'm using markers, but you could use the blends too if you have colors that coordinate. Okay, and then I went over on the tie with the Wink of Stella and just added some wink on it, and it makes it kind of shimmery and shiny. I just thought it added to the cuteness of the project. All right, now we're going to glue this. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and take these pearls and move them over to the eyes. And you don't have to do this if you like just seeing the eyes. You could actually color the eyes too if you wanted to. I just kind of liked the pearls. I don't know. So, kind of a fan of embellishments. When the new catalog comes out, the very first thing I look at is the embellishments and the new ink colors. That's my thing. I go to the back of the catalog and look at those, and then I look at, while I'm in the back there, I look at all the bundles, and I look at all the new punches, and then I work forward into the stamp sets. Okay, so we've got that, and then I'm just going to pop that right there with a dimensional or two. Okay, and there we go. Isn't that cute? Gosh, that's cute. All right. If I don't say so myself. Okay, so remember, you can use this piece on something else. Put these away. All right, next up is this St. Patrick's Day card. And I used Granny Apple Green. And then my stamp set is the Lucky Clover, which is from the mini catalog. I also used a sponge, so you might want to grab a sponge. So if you don't have Granny Apple Green, you could use, obviously, any kind of a green. Old Olive would probably look the best, but Pear Pizzazz would look nice too. Soft Succulent might be okay. Evening Evergreen, so just grab a green. You've got something, I'm sure. Now, I did pre-score these for you. I laid the card on my scoring tool, and I just went through and scored 4 lines in there to give it a little extra texture. All right, so let's open up our packet. Be careful, there's a couple of embellishments in this one too. Uh-oh, mine is not pre-scored, so why is that? Okay, I will be double checking all your kits. This would be why I do the kits. I do the video before I mail out the kits, just to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. I'm going to go ahead and assemble this one without the scoring lines, but I will make sure that yours are pre-scored. I didn't know who had the score plate, So I went ahead and pre-scored those for you. I'll put the measurements in the Facebook page in case you want to repeat this project. Okay, so this gets attached to the Granny Apple Green card base. All right, and then you've got a whole bunch of punch outs and a couple of embellishments. So if you have the Lucky Clover stamp set, then you can punch over this, or you can stamp over this with the stamp. If you don't, then you could take some kind of a background stamp and just randomly stamp all over it. I think that'll fill it in really nicely, and you'll be happy with that. I just realized I kind of need a different piece of paper. I don't want to ruin my, use the back of that. I don't want to ruin my placemat here with my stamping. So I'm going to put these on here, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment. If you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, look in your stamps, your Paper Pumpkin stamps, because there's often a lot of little background fill-in kind of stamps in there that I think would work really well if you don't have the Lucky Clover stamp set, which I do. And the Lucky Clover punch is one of those items that sold out right away. Let's see here. I don't know if I can line that up or not. There we go. So this isn't available anymore, but you can still get the stamp set, and you can actually fussy cut this pretty easily. If you have a friend or family member that has a birthday in March, I think the stamp set is super cute. Or if you need to send out a thank you card, super cute for that. A good friend is like a four-leaf clover, hard to find and lucky to have, and that just rings so true to me. All right, let's get that lined up there. Okay, so we're going to put that there and pop that up on one dimensional. Oh, you know what? I just forgot. So I did go around. I'm going to see if I can pull this up. I did go around the edges with the sponge to kind of make it pop a little more off of the vanilla layer there. So just put a little bit. Now my sponge is cut into 4, and then I put it on a binder clip. I don't know if you've seen that done. You can also use a dauber if you don't have any sponges. The dauber will work too. We're just adding a little bit of color around the edge. Okay, I'm going to put another dimensional on there because it kind of pulled off a little bit of the sticky, so I want to make sure it doesn't come off. All right, we'll cover that up. Okay, so see, you can watch my video and learn all the things that you shouldn't do. All right, let's see here. So we've got an embellishment that goes in the middle of the clover, and then I put another one down here on the edge just to kind of offset that. And then you've got a couple of leaf punch outs that kind of go down under here. I'll just put a little bit of glue on the back of those, and then we'll push them underneath that. Okay, one thing about this liquid glue, you want to put your lid on as soon as you finish gluing, because otherwise it kind of sets up and will jam up inside. And then always store it with the tip down, and then the glue's all down at the end and ready for you when you're ready to use it. All right, we got 2 leaves there. Okay, so pretty easy project. Cute. It'll be fun to use for next month. All right, let's get that out of the way here. project is going to be this cute little bunny. And you will need to grab your tuxedo black stamp pad. And then the jury's out on the carrot here. I'm not sure I love the carrot, but if you want to put the carrot in his mouth, then I colored it with a pumpkin pie marker and a old olive marker, I think is what I used. Let me grab those real quick. Actually, this is Granny Apple Green. Okay, so grab those two, and then you'll need this. All right, let's look in the packet. This one doesn't have any embellishments, but there's a lot of little pieces. Now this is a fun fold. This is called the, I always call it the library fold, but I think it's actually called the book fold. And one of the things that you'll want to do is use your bone folder to make a really nice crease. If you don't have your bone folder, this glue actually works pretty good. Or some other flat kind of instrument where you can actually really set that crease. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is put either some tear tape down here or some liquid glue. So I'm going to use the liquid glue. And then I'm going to use my bone folder to kind of spread that out. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and lay our layers in here. So this is the Dandy Designs DSP from the SALE-a-bration's catalog. This is the one of the DSPs. It's 48 sheets. It's very springy, so you can use whatever side of the paper you would like. And it is free with a $100 order during celebrations. So just for grins, I'm going to go ahead and use this side of the DSP just to see what it looks like. You know what? Before I do that, I'm going to actually stamp to make sure I get a good image. Okay, so you could put it looks like spring, or there's the Happy Easter. And these stamps are from the Easter Bunny Bundle. And the Easter Bunny Punch is currently out of stock, but it will be back, I think April. It actually might be May. If you need to know that, let me know and I'll look it up. I can't remember. There's several items that are out of stock right now, and I'm kind of keeping an eye on these for a variety of people. I've got a list going. So if there's something that you try to order and it's not in stock, reach out. Let me know you're trying to get that item, and I can look and give you an approximate date of when Stampin' Up! Estimates it'll be back in stock. I like that. It looks cute on that paper. And I can also let you know if it's not going to be available anymore, because there are a few items that are sold out, like that Clover Punch, that they're not going to be getting any more in. All right, and then you have some ribbon. So let's go ahead and tie that. And it's just a soft knot that I've done. And then don't pull it too hard and it'll stay soft. And then you can just trim off. I'm going to leave that one. That one's okay, but I'm going to trim off this edge. Okay. All right, now we've got these layers. So this goes on here. So you've got a white layer, and then you've got a white scalloped layer. These were done with the circle dies. You've got the bunny. So if you have the bunny stamp set, then you can overstamp the bunny onto the piece that I've cut you. And if you don't, You don't need, you could, if you want to, what you could do if you want to give this a little more detail is take a black marker and use the script end and just go along and make some little dots and dashes. Let's try that just for grams. All right. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. So take your black marker or a fine tip black Sharpie, do a dash, a couple of dots, dash, couple of dots, couple of dots, dash, couple of dots, dash, couple of dots, dash, couple of dots, dash, couple of dots. The other thing you could do if you wanted is use a sponge and then just sponge the edges with black. That would give it a little definition. This actually looks pretty cute though. You could even make this with a black pen if you don't have a black marker. A black pen would work too. Okay, oh, that looks pretty cute. And then you could add maybe a black rhinestone or something in there for the eye, and or one of those black matte dots. Okay, we're going to pop him up with a couple of dimensionals. And then you can put him on your white circle. All right, and then a couple more dimensionals. All right, and then I did the carrot. You have a little scrap of white, so if you want to make the carrot, if you have the carrot, this is another stamp set from the SALE-a-bration's mini catalog. It's called Thanks a Bunch. And it's got the carrots in it. And this is one of the stamp sets you can get for free with a $50 order. All right, and then you can color that in and fussy cut it. So pumpkin pie. I didn't color mine in completely because I wanted to give variations of color like a carrot. You know, they don't look orange all the way through. They've got lots of variations of color. And then I just kind of tapped color into the greenery. And then you're going to fussy cut that. Okay, and on fussy cutting, remember to turn the paper and not your scissors, and you won't get those ugly cut marks. So you see how I'm just kind of wiggling the paper back and forth to go around the greenery and around the outline of the carrot. You always want to cut on the outside, not on the inside. You don't want to lose your lines. All right, so I'm just still not sure about this carrot. Anyway, I'll let you decide what you want to do. One thing I do think, though, is that this little bunny needs a eye. So I would suggest putting a rhinestone in there or something if you don't have the bunny stamp. Okay, now, that's pretty cute, huh? Love the way it sits up. Just a little different, kind of clever, real easy little folds. Okay, let me put that away. All right, next up is this very springy card. And this also uses the Dandy Designs DSP. So when you open up your card base on that one, you're going to actually have a couple embellishments. So again, be careful. You've got a mango medley layer in there. We got some ribbon. Mango Medley is the ink that I used. So you'll need that, and then you'll need a sentiment set. And I used the Inspired Thoughts, I think is what I used. Oh, no, I didn't. I used Peaceful Moments. I'm sorry. I used Peaceful Moments sentiment, but any sentiment set will work. You just need something to stamp in the middle of this. So I'm going to make this one a thank you card. All right, so again, we're going to attach our ribbon across the middle of the card, the DSP layer. And then we'll go ahead and put some glue around the edge and attach that to the card base. While I'm thinking about it, I'd like to remind everybody to make sure that you have re-inkers for your stamp pads. The 2021 to 2023 in colors are going to retire. In April will be the last time they'll be available for purchase, but oftentimes the inkers sell out very early. Also, nothing's been officially announced, but we are due for a color renovation, so I wouldn't be surprised if some of our other from our core color line will retire. And again, those reinkers will sell out quickly, so if you want to be able to refresh your pad and keep it for a while, you might want to make sure you have reinkers for your ink pads. All right, we're going to make this one a thank you card. So stamp that in the middle there. All right, now we've just got to assemble this. So we'll put 2 dimensionals on this. And then put it across the ribbon. All right, and then I'll put my rhinestones, these champagne rhinestones, in the center of the daisies. I always wonder what punches are going to retire. We should have the retiring list out in early April, maybe a little bit earlier than that. Maybe Stampin' Up! Will give it to us a little bit earlier. And again, when something is retiring, it is while supplies last. Okay, isn't that a cute, happy spring card? I love this DSP. It's just so happy. Okay, let's see what is next. Okay, here is our next card. So the only thing you need to grab is, again, a sentiment set, and you want a smaller one this time, and a Calypso Coral stamp pad is what I used. Black would look good. Evening Evergreen would look good too if you don't have Calypso Coral. And the stamp set that I used on this one is one of the Celebrations ones. It is called Beautifully Happy, and it is one of the stamp sets that's also available for free with a $100 purchase. All right, when you open your packet, there is one small embellishment, so be careful when you open that up, and then lots of layers. Now this card was inspired by Patty Bennett, and it's called Double Time. We have taken one piece of DSP, and then I've die cut it, and then I've hung onto that piece, so then you kind of have something that looks like a frame. And then I did another die cut. Let me tell you which dies I use. So the one on the DSP is the rectangle stitched framelits. And then this one is called scalloped contour dies. So this is the one that's used on the Calypso Coral. And then it's just all about the layering. So it's kind of cool because you don't throw that away. You hang on to it. And there's another technique like this, and we've done it in class before, but it's been a while. I got to see where this kind of lines up here. So I'm going to put this on the card first, and it's called Triple Time. And it's been a while since we've done that. Maybe we'll do one of those next month. But you do a lot of stamping on the layers, and then you put them back together with a solid layer in between, like we're doing here. Okay, so that, all right, so now it doesn't really matter where, maybe I'll pop this. Yeah, I'm going to pop this. So I'm going to use some dimensionals on the layer. Okay, and then this goes on top of that. Oh, when you put it back in here, you want to make sure that it lines up with the piece that it came out of. So do you see how those flowers line up? And they line up here and they line up here. So make sure you do that. I just kind of lucked out there. I didn't actually look at that before I glued it down, and then I realized before I moved it, good thing I was using the glue. All right, we're going to get a little image here with our Calypso pad. And I'm going to make this one a thank you as well. What kind of birthday cards do you make the most of? I make the most of thank you and birthday, I think. I've been doing a lot of thank you ones, thinking of you this year too, but probably birthday's the one that or thank you's the one that I seem to make the most. It's certainly the one I run out of the most. And I would consider that to be a blessing, that I get to send out that many thank you cards. Okay, and then I used a glue dot to attach this to the vanilla piece. You kind of have to push it and kind of roll it up a little bit because it is a little bit bigger than the ribbon. So just using my scissors there to make it a little bit smaller so it doesn't, you don't really see it. Okay, now pop that up. Let's see, where did my embellishment go? So I'm going to put the embellishment right in the center of the bow. I love these self-adhesive sequins. They're like one of my favorite embellishments. Okay, there we go. Isn't that cute? All right, that's beautiful. Okay, last but not least is this cute little treat holder. And this again uses that Dandy Designs DSP. And this is what your kit looks like when you get it. Lots of pieces in here in this little cello bag that I sent you, so be careful. There's one little rhinestone. You've got a chocolate. You can eat that if you want, but it's really meant to go in your little container here. So let's pull this all apart, and then let's start with the little box. So what you're going to do is cut this in. On both sides. And then what I did was I went in and just made kind of like a little V. And you don't have to do this, but I found that if you do, you take a little extra snip out of there, it lines up a little bit better when you go to close it up. It's all even. All right, again, this is where you want to use your bone folder if you have one, or something flat to kind of get those folds to fold in nicely. Okay, now if you have your tear tape, this will come in very handy at this point. And this is what it looks like on the back. So you want to put, I put 2 pieces on the bottom. And you don't want them to be too long. You don't want them to be wider than the, oops. Okay, that just, the whole cover pulled off on my finger. So we'll have to be careful there. And then just some smidges on the edge. I love tear tape. You just tear it with your finger. Cool. And it holds so well. And it's not messy. Love it. Okay, now we're going to pull those covers off. And then we're going to bring those corners in. And it just makes a cute little box. Okay, we'll leave that sitting there for a minute. We're going to work with the heart. So you have this strip, and I really like this project because I always have these strips of DSP left over. And so this is, I think, 1.5 by 11. I'll put the dimensions on the Facebook page, and then I folded it in half. So that's going to be the bottom where the little box goes. And you just kind of pinch it and bring it up like this, and it makes a heart. So let's go ahead and put some of the tear tape on here. You could use the glue too. The liquid glue would work too. You could use the liquid glue for the box too if you don't have tear tape or fast fuse or whatever kind of adhesive that holds well. Snail, if you're using that, it doesn't usually hold on boxes very well and 3D kind of things. So you're going to bring it down and pinch it and make it look like a heart. And then hold it together so it adheres. Now the little box fits down in the bottom. I'm going to tear off this other piece of adhesive now. And I'll put this right down here in the corner, right up next to the fold. Okay, and then your little truffle, and these are the lint truffles, fits right there. And there's other treats that will fit in this too. All right, so now you have this strip, and this was punched with the new Happy labels, and then you've got the little butterfly. This is from the Meadows. And then you should have a embellishment for the butterfly. I'll stick that on there now. All right, and then I use the Happy Label stamp set. And I used pumpkin pie ink. If you don't have pumpkin pie, I think Daffodil Delight would work. No, I think I need to re-ink this pad. I will be doing that after the video. Okay, and then this just gets attached, kind of, I bent it a little bit, and so that it doesn't fight with the little treat holder, I just use my bone folder to kind of like make it kind of bend a little bit better. And then you can either use a dimensional to hold it down or the tear tape. I'm going to go ahead and use a dimensional. And I put it right down at the edge. And then we're going to put the butterfly right on the corner there. All right, so isn't that cute? Would have been a really good Valentine's Day project, but that's okay. We've got it for another time. Okay, I think that's it for this class. I got all the projects. Oh, let me show you another treat that fits really good in these little Ferrero Rocher things. They fit really nicely in there too. So those are the two treats that I found. I sent you guys either red ones or yellow ones to coordinate with this, and I just kept this blue one. It doesn't really go with the piece very well as a sample. All right, I hope you guys have a really good time with your projects, and if you have any questions about anything, please don't hesitate to reach out, and I hope I see you next month for Birthday Bash. Until then, be happy. Take care now.